This program contains material that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. Gored and gruesome. A matador takes a bull's horn to the face.
Made me sick to my stomach. I'm not sure if this person's even alive anymore.
Two dogs are being swallowed by a sinkhole, and their owner is trying to hold on.
Kept hollering at him, telling him to get out, get out, get out. And he said, I got to get my dogs out.
Then...
What was that? What is that sound? Is that a snake?
A rattlesnake strikes, and the venom is moving fast.
A few drops is enough to kill a person.
God, it hurts so bad.
Wild. Uncensored. Raw. Heart-stopping. Animal encounters. Caught on tape by everyday people from all over the world. Computer graphics will show you exactly what happened. And meet the survivors.
This cat is scared. He's trembling. He wants to get away from me.
All on Untamed and Uncut. It's the moment of truth. A matador on his knees in a stare down with an angry bull.
It always causes a murmur in the crowd and a lot of, ooh, 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 what's this? It's very dramatic.
The bull makes the first move, charging like a runaway locomotive.
Here we go, baby.
The matador pays for his bravado with his blood.
This matador wasn't moving. He was just lifeless.
The famed Plaza de Toros de la Maestranza in Seville, Spain. It's one of the oldest bull rings in the country. For many, bullfighting is a controversial sport. But for Jesus Franco Cardenio, who grew up across the street, becoming a matador is something he dreamed about as a boy. At 16, he fought his very first bull.
He was very well known here in Seville.
Emilio Fernandez is Jesus Franco's friend and president of the Real Maestranza Bull Ring.
He wanted to be famous. He wanted to be an elite bullfighter.
And this is the day Jesus Franco gets his chance to become a hometown hero. He's one of 6 matadors competing to be the best at the Plaza's Easter Festival.
I was really excited to see my first bullfight.
American Mark Tater is traveling through Spain and has his video camera with him to capture the spectacle.
Got there early to get good seats. We were close to where the bulls came out. We were close to the matadors.
Up first, Jesus Franco, with his daring start, stuns even the locals.
The matador gets on his knees. And my friend and I, we kind of looked at each other and we asked some locals and they were kind of in shock themselves.
He positions himself on the ground, on his knees, with his back arched very tensely and the capote furled out on the ground in front of him.
Bull expert Cole Mancuni says the matador is attempting a move called the portagaiola, one of the most dangerous moves in bullfighting.
The portagaiola is a really dramatic and different way to receive a bull.
Cooney shows us what it's supposed to look like. The twirling cape is flashy, but doesn't offer any protection from the bull.
You're relying entirely on the movement of the cape to pull him off your body.
There we go, baby. I got goosebumps looking at the size of this animal. Extremely large, extremely muscular, just extremely ferocious.
A wave of fear suddenly washes over Mark.
When the bull took its first step towards the matador, I became scared. I see the matador attempting to stand and twirl in one single motion.
The bull's instinct is to attack motion.
In a flash, the showdown is over.
Everything was going according to plan. There must have been something that the Matador saw that I don't see there, because the Matador stands up. He appears to be aborting the whole pass.
When the 1,000-pound bull hits, he lifts Jesus Franco off the ground. The tip of his left horn rips into his mouth, tearing through facial muscles, breaking his nose, and almost slicing his cheek off his face.
The tip of the horn is called the diamante, and it's absolutely razor sharp.
The young Matador's not moving, but the bull's not done.
He hit the ground, lifeless, motionless. The bull came back around and gored him again in the backside.
It struck him, and he couldn't defend himself. He was on the floor like a dead man.
Made me sick to my stomach. I'm not sure if this person's even alive anymore.
9 men rush into the ring waving capes to lure the bull away from the fallen Matador. Luckily, it works.
I could see his cheek hanging in the wind as he was being carried. It just dangled. I had never seen anything that graphic. I had never seen anything like that before in my life. It was scary to see.
But the horror is not over. Just as Jesus Franco is being carried off, the bull buries his horns in another Matador.
Dude, I'm sitting here shaking.
He's bleeding, but not seriously hurt.
This is no joking matter.
People are fainting in the stands around us. So I pan over to my right, and I see women being attended to by paramedics.
Jesus Franco is rushed to the hospital
He had what we call a catastrophic face.
and undergoes 4 hours of surgery to repair the damage to his face.
He had very severe cuts in his skin, and he almost completely tore all the muscles in his face. A cut which went from his lip to his eyelid and went across his whole face.
Dr. Pedro Infante performs a medical miracle, successfully putting Jesus Franco's face back together again. The Matador survives and explains what went wrong.
When I was on my knees, I put forth the capote, and the bull should have passed it the way he was supposed to pass it. But he didn't do that. He came towards me. I felt the horn in my mouth, and bam! I fell face down, inert.
And believe it or not, the first thing he wants to do is climb back into the ring.
That is what my soul wants. It's what my heart wants.
Today, Jesus is bullfighting again. His face still bears the scars of that terrible day, but he places no blame on the bull.
It comes to kill me, which is its obligation.
And Jesus knows just how close that bull came to fulfilling his obligation.
Thank God that the goring was sideways, not upward. If he had gored me up into the roof of my mouth, he would have beheaded me.
He is extremely lucky. It's a miracle that he was able to escape that with only a scar on his face.
Water main breaks, and a van drives right into the sinkhole.
I must have yelled it 10 times. Stop, stop, stop.
A driver and his 2 beloved dogs are trapped inside.
It started going down quick.
When we told him to get out, and he said, no, my dog's in here, I got to get my dogs out.
Will the van turn out to be a watery coffin?
He was more concerned, I think, about his dogs than he was himself.
It happens in Boca Raton, Florida, where Hank Schiffer lived with his 2 faithful companions, Smokey and Scooby.
Hank's dogs were absolutely like his kids. They were a family to him and his best friends, for sure.
Smokey was a 5-year-old Lab Chow mix and Scooby a 2-year-old Springer Spaniel Pit Bull mix. Hank was a craftsman who worked with concrete.
The dogs were always in the van.
His friend Gene Nedrow remembers he took his canine pals everywhere.
He'd often take them to the store on runs and to work sometimes if the customer allowed it.
And Smokey and Scooby are right by his side when he gets trapped in a lethal road hazard. George Norton and William Barr, members of the maintenance crew, watch in horror as the van is swallowed up.
We was hollering at him to get out the fan, get out the fan, get out the fan.
Get out, get out! It went quick. It went down like a rock.
Coming up, Hank is going to save his dogs or die trying. Plus, a cowboy is crushed under a 1,000-pound horse. And later, just when it looks like a stranded cat is safe, this. It's all next on Untamed and Uncut. A van is stuck in surging water and sinking fast. Hank Schiffer and his dogs Smokey and Scooby are trapped inside.
This is the size of the pipe that broke on St. Andrews that caused the hole that he drove into. There was 60 foot of pipe that we had to replace.
George Norton, Elton Hunt, and William Barr are members of the maintenance crew at the scene of a major water main break. 5,000 gallons a minute are gushing into the street when the men spot Hank's van headed right for the sinkhole caused by the break.
He was going pretty fast, and we tried to stop him. Hey, hey, yelling at him. Hey, stop, 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 stop. And he just kept coming.
I saw the one dog right before the van went into the water.
The men yell at the driver to get out, but he makes a critical mistake. He hesitates as all 4 wheels leave the asphalt and the van briefly floats.
Roll your window down! Roll your window down! I was yelling, roll down the window, because I was concerned that if the van went under, that he might not be able to get the doors open.
But Hank can't get his window down because it's broken.
He opened the door, and he realized that there was too much water coming in. He shut the door, opened it again.
As soon as he opened up the door, the water rushed in there. That's when the van started submerging faster.
Get out, get out!
Kept hollering at him, telling him to get out, get out, get out. And he said, I got to get my dogs out.
Hank is determined to save his companions, even if it means his own life. The sinkhole is about 11 feet deep. The van plummets with nothing to stop it except a gas line that's below the broken water main. If it ruptures, leaking gas could trigger an explosion. Smokey on the front seat is up to his snout in water. Poor Scooby is on the floor, trapped underwater. And every second counts.
With this van fully submerged, I think he'd have about 2 minutes to get these animals out.
Dr. Laurie Leach, an emergency veterinarian at the Beverly Oaks Animal Hospital in Sherman Oaks, California, says the dog's survival instinct will buy them some time, but not much.
There you go, big guy. If their head is underwater, they have a natural inclination to hold their breath. That's a normal reflex in the species. Their larynx is starting to close up. As that happens, they are getting more anxious, more nervous, more panicky. When that oxygen is depleted, you have to take another breath. And that's the amount of time that really is important for the pet.
Suddenly, one dog appears. It's Smokey, the 80-pound Lab Chow mix. He desperately dog paddles away.
Smokey was about 2-3 feet to my right, and he was panicking. He was just like, he kept turning his head every which way. I held the door like this. I grabbed him, pulled him through the water, and then pushed him through.
But what about Scooby, the dog on the floor?
I can't see Scooby. I couldn't even feel him under the water. So I kept feeling around. Finally, I felt Scooby, so I grabbed Scooby and pulled him towards the surface and pushed him out the door.
Hank and his dog swim to rescuers who fish them out. The van comes to rest on the gas line, which incredibly doesn't rupture. And thankfully, Hank and his dogs are all okay.
I just felt relieved that we were safe because they definitely would have died if I didn't get them out of the van.
Sadly, the older dog Smokey has since passed away. But Hank and Scooby are as close as ever. Hank is still Scooby's hero, just like he was on that fateful day.
The dogs are like family to me. I wouldn't leave a family member behind, so I wouldn't leave the dogs behind.
$1,000 and this cowboy's life are on the line at a rodeo in Argentina. Martin Villaverde is risking it all to win the money, to feed his family. In a split second, the Bronco turns into a 1-ton steamroller.
That was a big wreck. That horse completely rolls over the rider.
Cowboys in Argentina are called gauchos.
It's about the gaucho down there taming this wild horse, and the wilder the better.
Al Dunning, a world champion horse trainer, says gauchos break wild horses the old-fashioned way, without any safety gear.
In Argentina, it's all about subduing the horse.
The Criollo, Argentina's native horse, is big, powerful, and often agitated before a rodeo.
This horse is snubbed to a post to start out. Snub means tied to the post and blindfolded.
The wild ones come straight from the prairies. They come savage. So whatever they put on the horse, human or otherwise, the horse tries to take it off.
Dr. Raul Olivero has worked the rodeo circuit for 44 years, and he's seen gauchos beaten to a pulp.
A trauma to the cranium, contusions, fractures of the appendages, the feet, the arms, hands, and ribs.
Dr. Olivero is at this rodeo in Mahones Sur in case of an emergency. It's attracted gauchos from all over, including one of the best, Martin Villaverde.
Martin Villaverde was competing for a prize that day, a prize of cash.
Martin was a well-known rider in the city, province, and state.
Fidel Oliveira helps Martin saddle up the white Criollo and knows this gaucho has a good chance of taking the top prize.
It was a very big and important event, and the importance of it creates a larger payout.
For me, it's not worth risking your life for the money.
Martin's girlfriend, Lucrecia Schenk, and their young daughter, Evelyn, are at home because Lucrecia can't bear to watch.
Every time Martin goes to a rodeo, it gives me a lot of stress and tension.
Lucrecia isn't the only one worried. Fidel fears Martin may be overmatched.
It was a wild female horse of a medium height with a lot of strength, weighing 550 to 600 kilos, against a man weighing 70 to 73 kilos.
From its first step, the white horse explodes like a bolt of lightning.
This horse is scared. The blindfold's whipped off. All of a sudden, he sees this guy swinging this quirt around. This horse is gonna run and gonna buck.
Martin is suddenly thrown back violently and loses his balance.
As a rider, you want to stay right over the top of that motion, and you don't want to get whipped way back or way forward. Once you get off balance, it's hard when the brunk's jumping that hard to get your balance back again.
Martin never recovers. He hits the ground hard. Then 1,000 pounds of horse comes crashing down.
From the moment the horse was released to the moment it landed on Martin, it was 5 seconds.
Fidel and Dr. Olivero dash to Martin's motionless body, fearing this is Martin's last ride.
I thought the worst. This type of accident can kill a rider.
Up next, his girlfriend's heart is racing, but Martin is not moving. Then, a rattlesnake strikes, and a woman fights for her life.
Oh, God, it hurts so bad.
terrifying to see just how much pain she was in. It was awful.
It's all coming up on Untamed and Uncut. Gaucho Martin Villaverde is a favorite to win top prize at this rodeo in Argentina. But this terrifying split second changes everything.
I was very scared. I was afraid that something serious had happened to him.
The 1,000-pound Bronco slams on top of Martin, crushing the life out of this 23-year-old new father as a rodeo doctor rushes in.
I quickly ran towards them, thinking of what might be happening and how I'm going to help him.
Rodeo hand Fidel Oliveira says nobody saw this coming.
I thought Martin came out riding the horse fine.
World champion horse trainer Al Dunning explains what went wrong.
That guy got whipped back like this off that horse and lost his balance. When he did, he pulled that horse's head away, and as you can see, the first thing this horse is going to do is going to kind of lose its balance and step over. On that slick grass, that horse completely went ahead and fell and tumbled over the top of it.
And that horse weighs half a ton. 1,000 pounds rolling over a 160-pound man.
That horse rolled right over the center of that man's body.
Fear fills the rodeo ring. But Fidel is amazed by what he finds. Martin is gasping for breath, but he's alive.
I asked him, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yes, I am okay, but I'm in a lot of pain."
This was a very aggressive horse. I thought the worst.
His body is battered. He's cut up, suffering several deep gashes.
One he had in the forehead, one on the nose, and another one here.
It will take Martin weeks to recover from his lacerations and bruises. But he survives.
Those 5 seconds that I was on the horse, I was waiting for him to do more so I could put on a good show. And the next thing I knew, the horse was on top of me and it was crushing me. When the horse was on top of me, it did feel like it was forever. I felt a horrible pain, like a burning up my spine.
That was a big wreck. He could have been killed, and I think he's lucky to be alive.
Two things may have saved Martin's life. First, the wooden horn on the saddle hits the ground, creating a small pocket of space under the horse. Then, Martin fell in the perfect place, directly under the curve in the horse's back. As she rolls over him, her rump and shoulders create a little bridge, saving Martin from the full weight of the horse.
The consequences of the accident could have been fatal.
Lucrecia Schenk, Martin's girlfriend and mother of his little girl Evelyn, hopes Martin will retire from bronc riding.
It would be a good gift, yes. That one day he tells me he's going to stop riding.
It may be a while before Lucrecia gets her gift. Today, Martin is back at it. But this gaucho knows he's riding on borrowed time.
I feel lucky that nothing serious happened to me, to have been able to come out fine. I think I had a lot of luck.
Danger is slithering in this garden.
Do you think there's going to be any strawberries?
Probably not till next year.
No strawberries. Instead, the deadliest snake in the U.S.
What the? Sweetie, you okay? What was that? What is that sound? Is that a snake?
Leon Blue and her boyfriend Chris Noble are house sitting for a friend in Tucson, Arizona. The place has its own vegetable garden.
We were feeling pretty happy.
looking forward to picking a load of the tomatoes and seeing what other fruit and things were in there that we could eat.
Chris videotapes on this hot summer day. He and Leon are blissfully unaware one of the most dangerous rattlesnakes in the world is hiding in the shade.
Western diamondbacks probably kill more people than any other rattlesnake in the country. If you come near them, they are going to bite you.
Jim Brockett is a snake expert. Western diamondbacks can strike within 1/25th of a second, less than the blink of a human eye. And Jim says they control their deadly venom in each painful bite.
They'll give a lot more venom to something big, like a human or a badger or a coyote or something like that, as opposed to what they would use for a rat or a mouse. It certainly has enough venom to kill a large adult man.
On this day, it's Leon who's within striking distance.
Do you think there's going to be any strawberries?
Probably not till next year.
No?
Oh!
What? I hear a scream from Leon. She immediately pulls her hand fast out of this plant and then starts looking back in it. And I'm like, what's wrong?
At first, Chris isn't sure what happened. Then he hears this terrifying sound.
It just struck fear inside me. This was a sound that instinctively I knew was danger.
Leon is bitten across the knuckles as she reaches to grab a tomato. When the rattler strikes, its mouth opens 180 degrees and retractable fangs drop down. Once the snake bites, venom flows through the fangs.
What is that sound? Is that a snake?
In a panic, Chris drops his camera, but it's hooked onto his wrist and he's still recording.
Go and find out what first aid is for a snake bite. Go and find a snake.
As Leon rushes inside, Chris finally sees what bit her.
I could see the snake coiling around the plant. It's about this fat and about, I've estimated about 4 foot long. So after looking at the pattern on the back, that was it. I was out of here.
He was probably just in the shade. And she stuck her hand in there and startled him. It's not trying to be aggressive. It's not coming after people. He's going to do what a rattlesnake does. He's going to defend himself and bite it.
Come on.
What Leon needs is anti-venom. So within minutes, they're rushing to the hospital. Leon's doubled over in excruciating pain.
God, it hurts so bad.
Terrifying to see just how much pain she was in. It was awful.
People I know that have been bitten by rattlesnakes liken it to sticking your hand in boiling water. The pain is that immediate and that intense.
Intense because the venom is actually eating away at Leon's flesh. It's a digestive enzyme.
The pain will get worse, the swelling will get way worse, and the tissue damage she's suffering will get worse.
God, it hurts so bad.
Leon's in so much pain, she's immediately put on morphine. The venom is traveling up her arm toward her heart. A half hour after the bite, her hand is grossly disfigured.
I thought that this would be over in a matter of hours. I thought we'd be in there and she'd get treatment and we could leave. I had no idea what was coming next.
Coming up, will Leon lose her hand?
God, it hurts so bad.
Or lose her life? Then, a 40-foot fall.
The cat jumps out, the heart's in my mouth. I think it's all over for him.
It's all caught on tape on Untamed and Uncut. This program contains material that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. 28-year-old Leon Blue is in the fight of her life. She's just been bitten on the hand by a Western diamondback rattlesnake.
A few drops is enough to kill a person.
Reptile expert Jim Brockett says a rattlesnake is a pit viper and one of the most dangerous snakes in the United States.
Wait, okay. What was that? What is that sound? Is that a snake?
Leon's boyfriend, Chris Noble, was videotaping when the snake struck.
There was blood and this kind of clear liquid like oozing from the wound on her hand. This is really quite a dangerous situation. The swelling is going out of control and I was terrified for her safety.
Within minutes, Chris gets her to the medical center in Tucson, Arizona. She's immediately given morphine, but it doesn't stop the excruciating pain.
I feel like my hand is being eaten by ravenous ants. Spitting fire.
She was in absolute agony, occasionally crying and tears running down her face, and then other times almost laughing like, wow, this morphine's crazy.
Her hand, by the time she gets here, is about the size of a football.
Dr. J.R. Reed is in a race to save Leon's life.
The venom attacks the capillary walls, it attacks the blood cells. So you just get this tremendous swelling. In severe envenomations, people can die.
To save her, he only has one shot, anti-venom.
This is the antidote to a pit viper bite. It prevents absorption and spread of the venom. It's exceptionally expensive. It's $2,000 for that little vial. Starting dose, $8,000, 4 vials.
But anti-venom is not an immediate fix. It has to be administered slowly, and there's still a chance for horrible complications. The worst being internal bleeding or something called compartment syndrome. That's when the swelling gets so severe it cuts off the blood supply.
I'm terrified that they're going to have to get a scalpel out and cut her entire arm open.
These photos illustrate how compartment syndrome is treated. The area is literally sliced open in an effort to relieve the pressure and save the limb. 3 days after the bite, Leon is still grotesquely swollen.
I look like Popeye.
Yes, you do. The longer it went on, and the worse the swelling got, and the more venom, anti-venom, they were administering, the greater the chance I thought that they'd have to perform that procedure.
Chris doesn't share his nagging fear with Leon. Finally, on day 4, after receiving 16 vials of anti-venom, Leon takes a turn for the better.
The worst of it was over. I was there with 2 of her friends at this point. I think the 3 of us were jumping up and down and stroking her hair and saying, well done, you know.
Leon is released from the hospital, but it takes weeks for her body to get back to some sense of normal.
I gained about 10 pounds in weight. My arm probably at least doubled in size, maybe even more than that. When I realized I was going to keep my hand, I was ecstatic. I mean, it was like, so now I've had this really interesting, once-in-a-lifetime experience. You know, it's something to tell your grandchildren about.
Neither Leon nor Chris blame the snake, but they do have a deeper appreciation and respect for nature.
I definitely don't have a animosity or anger or hatred towards snakes. I realized that I'd kind of messed up its day as much as it had messed up my day.
We're both very, very careful now in the garden.
What was that? What is that sound? Is that a snake?
And now an untamed shortcut. Bulldozers move in to demolish a row of historic buildings in Bowling Green, Kentucky. But look at the cone-shaped roof. There's a squirrel, and the wrecking dozer is getting closer and closer. Unless the demolition crew stops work, the squirrel will be history too. But this isn't the first squirrel to wreak havoc on an American landmark. What other U.S. institution was brought to a grinding halt by a squirrel? Was it A, the Supreme Court, B, the NASDAQ stock market, or C, Air Force One? The answer when Untamed and Uncut returns. A squirrel clings to the roof of a historic house as bulldozers move in. It looks like the squirrel is about to be history, along with the building. It's a gray squirrel, noted for their sharp teeth and ability to chew through just about anything. In 1994, a squirrel gnawed through the power line supplying electricity to the NASDAQ. Trading on the nation's second biggest stock market was interrupted for 35 minutes. So the answer is B, the NASDAQ. As for the rodent on the roof, he senses his world is about to come crashing down. And with an acrobatic leap, he flies 30 feet through the air. When falling, squirrels use their tails as parachutes. He makes a hard landing, but survives the fall. He runs off to look for a new home. This poor cat is one wrong step away from death. He's trapped nearly 4 stories up. On a utility pole, lethal high-voltage power lines are crackling all around him.
He is in danger of being fried and electrocuted at any point in time.
And just when it looks like he's got him, disaster.
The cat jumps out, the heart's in my mouth. I think it's all over for him.
It happens in Cairns, Australia. Stussy, a 2-year-old Himalayan Persian, lives with owner Lyle Davis. He's an indoor-outdoor cat, but always stays close to home.
He was a comforting sort of a cat. I loved him. All my kids loved him. Everybody.
Shortly after arriving home from work one night, Lyle gets a shocking call from her neighbors.
They said, Lyle, your cat is stuck up a power pole. I said, what?
Her beloved Stussy wandered away and somehow ended up in the worst possible place.
They have this innate ability to know how to manipulate their claws, push them out, grab on, and climb. They're incredible climbers. So getting up is not the problem.
Veterinarian Dr. Alan Schulman says Stussy, like any cat, probably got up the pole easily using his retractable claws. It's getting down that's the problem.
On top of a power pole, which is just straight up and down. It has none of the nooks and crannies or anything else of a natural tree. I truly do think that this cat would have had some issues getting down safely.
Stussy's smart enough to know trouble when he sees it, so he stays put. But he has no idea he's in mortal danger.
A white cat up the top of the pole could have been sizzled at any point.
Reporter Sally Eels is on the scene in a hurry because the pole is right outside the TV station where she works.
It was obviously stuck, so we phoned some of our friends at the fire station.
But Queensland firefighters quickly realized this is a job for the electric company.
And they said, look, we can't go up there because the electricity is too dangerous for us, so we've got to call someone else in.
An electrician is called in to handle the rescue. He's in a cherry picker, and the bucket is carefully maneuvered underneath the mass of live wires.
The man placed the insulator blankets across the high voltage lines. This was to try and prevent the possibility of either the contractor or the cat making contact with the high voltage power lines.
Well, he was trying to get as close as possible to the cat, staying clear of the power lines as much as he possibly could and trying to coax it over.
Andy Barthelson is the man in the basket. He knew the danger before he went up.
If this cat touches two wires at once, we're both in big trouble.
Andy knows just getting close to Stussy is going to be tough.
This cat is scared. He's trembling. He wants to get away from me.
After doing his best to gain his trust, Andy makes a desperate grab.
He's hanging on for grim death.
Stussy digs his claws into the crossbeam. He doesn't want to go anywhere with a stranger.
I had to drag him off the pole. Did take a little bit of effort to get him off there, but once I got him off, he was good.
With Stussy safely in the bucket, Andy gets to work taking down the insulated blankets.
He'd just got Puss into the cherry picker and we were just waiting for the happy ending, you know, pat the cat at the end.
But this is no happy ending. Relief quickly turns to terror.
All of a sudden, here comes this cat out of the cherry bucket, launches itself in midair.
I'm looking down at him flying through the air.
There was just a gasp and just silence. I thought we were going to have a dead cat on our hands.
Coming up, hearts sink as Stussy hits. That's next on Untamed and Uncut. A terrified cat named Stussy is trapped high atop a utility pole, coursing with enough electricity to light up this Cairns, Australia neighborhood. Electrician Andy Barthelson manages to get Stussy into the basket of a cherry picker. But then this happens.
I've tried to grab him. I couldn't believe it. He just jumped out like that, as quick as you could blink your eye.
It sort of twisted and landed on the ground with a bit of a thump.
Television reporter Sally Eels is covering the story.
It survived the landing, didn't know how much damage it had done, then it took off and we thought, oh no, now it's going to die.
Stussy drops almost 4 stories and hits the ground hard. Even Andy is thinking the worst.
He might have just ran into a set of bushes somewhere and went away to die.
There he goes. absolutely amazing. Totally lands on his feet, is able to run away.
When veterinarian Dr. Alan Schulman sees the video, he doesn't see disaster, but amazing biology. Not only do cats have an internal gyroscope that helps them land upright, Dr. Schulman says the way they're built helps them survive a fall that would kill a person.
Cats have a smaller mass to area ratio, so that when they're going to fall, they have less force of impact distributed over that area. For people, we have a much larger surface area to mass ratio. That's going to have a tendency to make us shatter.
Cats have loose skin that acts like a cape. When Stussy leaps out of the basket, he spreads out on all fours. That extra skin helps him float through the air and slows him down before he hits the ground.
They're like a flying squirrel. It's literally like they have their own inherent parachute in order to be able to glide, and that puts them in a position to be able to land with their limbs flexed and pliable.
It looks like Stussy survives, but for owner Lyle Davis, he's nowhere to be found.
I thought, did he survive that jump?
24 sleepless hours go by. Then, Stussy comes limping home.
And I said, oh, my darling Stussy, you're home. I never thought I'd see you again, my boy. I'm so pleased to see you.
The only sign of his near-fatal fall, an injured paw, which eventually heals on its own.
I was really happy to find that Puss was safe and well and back at home, and I think all of our viewers were too. It was a happy ending to a story.
He survived the electricity. He survived the jump. He survived crossing the road twice. Maybe he used up quite a few lives that night. After Stussy came home and settled down, life just went back to normal. There was never any more dramas. Just enjoyed his life, and he became a wonderful old gentleman.
For more wild, shocking, and outrageous videos, visit our website at animalplanet.com/Untamed and Uncut.